Hey everybody, welcome back to the Planeswalker Coach channel. I'm your host, Paladin Robin. Folks, today we're going over this particular Planeswalker that you have on your screen. It's Aminatou, the Fateshifter. This is the most recent Planeswalker that we've been given. And of course, we've been given this one by Webcore, so we want to thank Webcore. This is an amazing Planeswalker, and Webcore has been so awesome to us here that they've given this one to us so we can work on this video for you. And you guys can be fully informed by watching this video and kind of decide for yourself if this one is one that you want in your collection. Anyway, so thank you, Webcore. You guys have been awesome. Okay, folks, let's get to it. We are talking about Aminatou, the Fateshifter today. And before we start getting into a lot of these abilities and the strategies and some of the extra cards that I would use for this particular Planeswalker, let's start here. Let's start with the health points. All right, you got 129. To me, I think this is a little on the high side. And the reason for that is because this is a very strong Planeswalker. This is a very good Planeswalker, especially if you're into combos like me. It's really strong just because you have the three colors here. You got a lot of hit points, some good mana bonuses, and we'll get into these abilities. But these abilities, you can see, you can revolve entire decks around these abilities, and these are abilities that will help you control games and just really dominate. So this is a very strong Planeswalker. And if you're a combo player like me, this would be a great addition to your collection. So, really cool. 129 is a little high because this is such a strong Planeswalker. But you know what? I'll take more rather than less, right? So, very cool here. 129. All right, let's take a look down here. Mana bonuses. All right, we got +4 for the black and white. We got +3 for the blue. Then you got a -2 for the red and the green. So nice kind of even spread. Some players like to have a spread like this. Some players want to have a spike, maybe, I don't know, 5 in one and maybe 5 in another kind of thing. But this one is it's a nice fair spread of mana bonuses here. So really cool. All right, let's talk about these abilities. As I mentioned, this is probably where the strength of this Planeswalker is. All three of these abilities are great abilities where you can revolve entire decks around all three of them. So really cool, very strong Planeswalker. Anyway, let's get to it. Here's the first one, Universal Conspiracy. All right, for 6, it says here, create a copy in your hand of the top card of your library, draw 3 cards. Then one of the colored mana bonuses is increased by X until the end of turn. So one of your mana bonuses chosen randomly will get a nice big buff to it. X is equal to the total base cost for those cards that you drew, up to 15, of course. You can read it on your screen. But really cool. I think this is a great ability. I think for 6, it's an incredible deal, because for 6, you know, if you were to say for 6, I get a copy of the top card on my library and draw 3 cards, I'd say that's a deal right there. That's a lot for what you would get for 6 here. But you don't only get the 3 cards. You don't only get the copy of the next card. What you get is a big mana bonus, and that in itself right there is definitely worth the 6. Right, so this one a little underpriced, but you know what? Very cool. You could revolve entire decks around this one because it's so cheap. You could hit it multiple times, and that would be pretty devastating. It's a great ability. I definitely think it is. One of the ways I would use this ability is probably with Knowledge is Power. Knowledge is Power, I think a lot of times you'll see that one out in the game. You'll have a big creature, and then you'll try to draw, right? So if you have Knowledge is Power, you hit this ability here, you're going to draw 3 cards, and Knowledge is Power is going to reinforce all of your creatures 3 times, right? So you get 3 big creatures, you can reinforce all of them 3 times, and that's pretty much what you need to win, right? Big nasty creatures having that kind of really good serious damage. That's going to be great. And you know what? Good thing is it's only 6. You can hit it again maybe next turn or the turn after that, right? Pretty cool. Very good ability here. All right, so let's move on to this one. Weaving Your Fate for 12. Exile the first 4 cards from your opponent's library. Exile the first 4 cards from your library. Then exile 2 opposing cards at random. This can affect Vanguard cards. All right, so this is a really good one here. You can revolve entire decks around this one if you wanted. What I would probably do is use this one here with maybe the Steam Core Scholar. That's a good one, right? You can hit this ability turn after turn after turn using that Steam Core Scholar. Once you get his level high enough, you can probably hit this one every single turn. Then your opponent isn't going to be able to play cards. They're going to put something down, you'll get rid of it, and that's just a way to make sure that you win games. They're not going to be able to mount any offense in this way, and you know what? That's so dominant. Excellent ability here, and it's only 12, guys, so really cool. Here's another one, Final Destiny, for 18. Return all cards from your exile into play under your control. Then your opponent loses X life. X is the number of cards you control, including their reinforcements. Alright, so here's a really good one. What I would try to do is throw a ton of cards into your exile. This can be done a number of ways. What I would probably do is use the combo that you're going to see in a little bit. I have it in this particular video. And it's going to throw a ton of cards into your graveyard. After that, all you got to do is have a card that will throw them from the graveyard into your exile, right? So there's a few of them. I think Blasphemous Edict is one of them that comes to mind, right? So there are a few of them. I hope I got that one right. I got to go check. But anyway, that's a good card. What you would probably do is just go and search Graveyard Exile, and then you'll see a ton of cards there that will hopefully get you to exile stuff from your graveyard, put it into, well, your exile, of course, and then you can use this to just do some really good damage. What I would try to do is have Master of Keys in a deck, kind of sort of like that. Master of Keys is good because if you can get a ton of them into your graveyard, then exile them, or just maybe straight put them into your exile, what you're going to be able to do is get those Master of Keys down, and when the Master of Keys comes down, it's doubling every time it comes down, right? So it doubles its power every single time it comes down, and you're really going to get a big nasty creature really quickly just by doubling upon doubling that big stack of Master Keys. So that's a good one. I think you could also do the same thing with Sunken Citadel. That's a really nice one, right? You can think about it as one Sunken Citadel will convert 7 gems to the color on the gem board that has the most, right? So the most gems of that color. And then you'll put another one, and then another one, and then another one. And then hopefully it's going to just keep reinforcing itself so many times that you can actually do this again next turn. Or do this one next turn, or whatever. But you can see what I'm going for on that one, right? That's going to be a really good combo as well. Alright, so with all that being said, let me show you the deck I've built. This one is called Nilfgaard Army. Nilfgaard, I think some of you may have probably had some familiarity with that term. That's the army that you play against in Witcher 3, right? You can play that game. That's a great game. Anyway, this is how I would use this particular Planeswalker. Consuming Aberration. It's a good card here. At the beginning of your turn, this creature gets +X. X is number of cards in your opponent's graveyard. So obviously what you're going to want to do is load up your opponent's graveyard, make this one big and nasty. The way I propose to do that is with Mind Skinner. You can see here, it says when a creature you control deals combat damage to your opponent's Planeswalker, your opponent gains X life. When your opponent loses life or is dealt damage, destroy the top X cards of your opponent's library, and X is the amount of damage that you just dealt, right? So really, every time you do damage, you're going to be throwing lots and lots of cards into your opponent's graveyard. And that's really the whole point of this deck. We're going to get a really big buff just doing that. The only thing is, your opponent's going to be gaining life. And the way we stop that is we use this one here. Night of Dusk Shadow. This is a good one because it says here your opponent cannot gain life. So you'll be doing a ton of damage with this guy. He's going to be throwing stuff into the graveyard with this guy. This guy gets even bigger, and this guy prevents your opponent from gaining life. And that's going to help you there. What I've basically done is got me the assemble the players to get the combo out, right? Once you get the combo out, folks, I would say you got maybe 1 or 2 turns left for your opponent to beat you, and after that, you know, I don't think they're coming back. One last card, Rush of Dread. This is a really interesting one. If you don't have this one, I don't think it's 100% needed in this deck. But what I would try to do is hit this card, get that spree going, that spree 4. Your opponent loses X life. X is the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard. So you can see why that's kind of important, right? You're going to get a ton of creatures, ton of other cards in the graveyard with these two. Going to prevent your opponent from gaining life with this guy. And pretty much if you have lots of things in that graveyard, Rush of Dread here is going to do a ton of damage for you. Really cool. Anyway, let's click here and go show some gameplay. Folks, with this one, like I mentioned, what we're going to try to do is get our combo down. This is a very, very good Planeswalker if you're a combo player, because like I said, it just helps you to get what you want really quickly. Wow, cool. Okay, 2 out of the 3 that we need for the combo straight off the draw in the beginning. So really, really cool. Looks like this might be a fast one, folks. If we can get the last one out, then that's going to really help us. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do, guys. Mind Skinner again. That's cool. I like that. I tell you what, we're going to go like this. We don't even have to push that gem conversion super early, because looks like we got some things going. There we go. Consuming Aberration and the Mind Skinner. Alright, we're throwing down some damage. What's really important about that move right there is that it puts some cards into your opponent's graveyard. That's going to help us to get our creature big like that. Alright, we got to make sure we kill this card here, because you can see it's giving us the Suspect ability. Suspect is a dangerous one here because it's going to get our creature killed if by this one here if we don't do something. So we'll see. It doesn't look like there's a ton that I can do here. I'm going to have to hope for a Cascade. What I'm going to go here is do this to this side. It's going to connect the green, and hopefully it gives me a Cascade up here, or maybe one here. So let's see what we got. Got it. Nice. Oh, cool. Right on. Okay, so we saved that creature. Now we're going to do a ton of damage here. They're going to gain life, but the important part is we're throwing cards into the graveyard, and that's going to help us out because it's going to help us. Oh, look at that. We got one down. All right. They put out another one here. I think this is Argus Cost. Yep. My gosh. Okay. Good deck that we're playing against. Wow. Kind of cool. All right. Assemble the players. That does help. All right. I tell you what. We'll go with assemble the players. Actually, we kind of don't even need to do that because at this point in the game we have a significant advantage here where we're looking like we're gonna win. Right there, big shot. Wow, cool. They got to do something. They got to defeat my creature here. It doesn't look like they're gonna be able to do that. Wow, good stuff, guys. And you can see why I like this Planeswalker a whole lot. Big buff there, but I like this Planeswalker a lot because I'm a combo player, and combo players like me, I'm going to say this again, we want to get the combo going as fast as we can, and the best way to do that is get a lot of draw going. This one will help you do that, right? Get a lot of fetch going, and really that's really the lifeblood of a combo player. Got to get your combo and get it fast, and you can see we did that here. All right, good stuff there. Good gameplay, good Planeswalker here, so really cool. Alright guys, that's it for me. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. That really helps the channel. Good gaming, guys.